చేయండి చూద్దాం మరి ఏదన్నా మనం చేసి మళ్ళీ కంటిన్యూ అట్లా పెట్టుకోండి మీరు అవుతుందా లేదా ఇంతకుముందు చేసింది మాది ఇట్లనే వచ్చింది కానీ ఎందుకు మళ్ళీ రాలేదు ఇదా ఇదా స్లైడ్ చేయించు కదా ఇది పని చేయట్లేదా టచ్ స్క్రీన్ కూడా ఇది ఇట్లా చేసుకోండి అయినా ఏం కాదా ఏం కాదు ఇప్పుడు ఇది పని చేయదు ఇంతకుముందు పని చేసింది మా ఇంతకుముందు ఇవి చేసింది సరే ఇంకా ఆన్ చేయలే కదా అవునా సరే Good morning, ma'am. Good morning to everyone. Okay, I'm going to explaining in MNSC, ma'am, under MNSC Unit 8 In-Service Education Program. So, what is In-Service Education Program? The In-Service Education is the continuation of education when the employee is in service. It is an organized educational program to assist the individual in an organization in attaining a new skills and knowledge, gaining increased level of competence and growing professionally. In-service education may be part of any program of staff development. So definition for in-service education. The in-service education is a planned education activities intended to build upon the educational and experimental basis of the professional nurse for the enhancement of practice, education, administration and research or theoretical development aimed at improving the health of the public. And another definition is the in-service education, the education given to a nurse while in service for her professional growth is called in-service education. The aims of in-service education, it helps to improve the professional growth and development. It gives a chance for promotion for the staff members. The individual nurses upgrade their knowledge and skills. It enhances to improve the performance while rendering care to the clients. Characteristics. So the characteristics of in-service education, it is provided with job setting, it is planned on ongoing, it is designed to meet their demands of changing needs like scientifically, technically, medically, in respect to patient care and treatment. In-service education mainly focus on efficiency and quality of services. The purposes of in-service education, it will help to improve the professional competence, keep the nursing personnel abstract of the latest trends and development of new techniques, helps to update the knowledge and skills at all levels. Nurses can update the knowledge regarding the current research and development, develops interest and job satisfaction among the staff, encourage the employees in achieving the staff development and self-confidence, develops the leadership skills, motivation and better attitudes. Nature and scope of in-service education. The in-service education is education intended to support and assist the professional development. For effective implementation of in-service education program, the basic knowledge of employee need to be kept in mind. And scope. The scope, the maintenance of familiarity with the new knowledge and subject matter, increased skill in providing service, improved attitudes and skills, greater skill in utilizing the community resources and in working with the adults, development and refinement of common values and goals. The organization of in-service education. The needs of in-service education. The needs for development of manual, behavioral and communication skills essential for exertion of their jobs. Needs for development execution of their jobs, needs for development of decision making and managerial skills, needs for introduction to their routine job, which are expanding new, higher, complicated, needs for development of leadership skills, needs for development of analytical and innovative thinking for investigating the potentialities and efficiency of their jobs. The components of in-service education is orientation, skill training, leadership and management development, continuing education. First one is the orientation. Orientation means providing the new employees with the basic information about the employer. The components of orientation is centralized orientation and decentralized orientation. Centralized orientation, it focuses on three areas: general orientation, physical setup of organization, philosophy, purposes and roles of employees. And hospital orientation, services available for staff and patients in the hospital, sources available and library facilities. Orientation to the nursing department, organization of nursing department and different categories of nursing personnel and special programs and activities for nursing personnel. The decentralization orientation, it focuses on the orientation to nursing unit and orientation to the nursing team. Skill training, it provides employees with skills and attitudes required for the job and keeps them abstract of changing methods and new techniques. Types of training is the basic literacy training, technical training, interpersonal skill training, problem solving training and diversity training. A training methods is job rotation by assigning the people to different jobs or tasks to different people on a temporary basis. Monitoring programs, a new employee frequently learns his or her job under guidance of an experienced workers. Leadership and management development. It equips a selected group of employees to shoulder growing the responsibilities and new positions. Staff should have the skills in leadership and management in order to guide employees. They mainly focus on to develop the leadership skills, communication skills, performance management skills, and decision making skills. The continuing education. Continuing education is all the learning activities that occur after an individual has completed his basic education. The principles of adult learning. The adult learning is defined as the entire range of formal, non-formal and informal learning activities which are undertaken by adults after a break since leaving the initial education and training, which results in the acquisition of new knowledge and skills. There are 8 principles of adult learning. These are very important for adult learning education. One is active learning, active participation through discussion, feedback and active activities creates the more learning than passive listening. The problems center adults are not them just to get more information. If your presentation does not help them solve their pressing issues, it will be forgotten. The previous experience, new information has to be linked to previous law knowledge and experience, or it will not be recommended. Remember. And relevance, if the information being presented is not relevant to the listeners' life and work, it will not get their attention. The fifth one is emotional connection. The presentations that connect with a learner's emotions are more likely to be remembered recalled and learned. And self-learning. The adult learners have some strong beliefs about how they learn. These beliefs, whether accurate or not, can interfere or enhance their learning. Alignment. Adults expect that a presenter's content, learning outcomes and activities be aligned together. If the learning outcomes do not match the content, the learner feels disconnected and learner is hampered. Fun. The learning should be fun as a presenter. If you are not having fun presenting your information and facilitating learning, then you should stop. The principles of adult education. Adults must want to learn. They learn effectively only when they have a strong inner motivation to develop a new skill or acquire a particular type of knowledge. Helping their children is a strong motivator for learners who are parents. Getting a high school diploma or a good job is another strong motivator for adults. Adults will learn only what they feel they need to learn. Adults are practical in their approach to learning. They want to know how is this going to help me right now. Be practical, be direct. The principles of adult education. Adults learning by doing. Children learn by doing, but active participation is more important among adults. Adults need to be able to use these skills immediately so that they see their relevance. Adult learning focuses on problems and the problems must be realistic. The children learn skills sequentially. Adults start with a problem and then work to find a solution. Begin by identifying what the learner can do, what the learner wants to do, and then address the gaps and develop the practical activities to teach specific skills. The principles of adult education. Experiences affects adult learning. Adults have more experience than children. This can be an asset and a liability. Use the learner's experience, negative or positive, to build a positive feature by making sure that negative experience are not part of their experience in your program. The adults learn best in an informal situation. The children have to follow a curriculum. Often the adults learn only what they feel they need to know. Involve adults in the learning process. Let them discuss issues and decide on possible solutions. Make the environment relaxed, informal, and inviting. The adults want guidance. The adults want information that will help them improve their situation or that of their children. They do not want to be told what to do. They want to choose options based on their individual needs. Present options, not instructions. Planning for in-service education program. The planning for in-service education, it is keystone to the administrative process. Successful in-service education planning is the result of careful and detailed planning. The planning is essential if learning needs of nurse are to be met. The planning must be seen as an ongoing process because of rapid technological advance and proliferation of knowledge demand continuous planning to meet ever changing learning needs. The planning process. What is to be done? Why is it necessary? How is it to be done? Where is it to be done? When is it to be done? And who should do the job? So this is the planning process. The steps of planning. So what are the steps of planning? This first one is the establishing the goal. So whatever we have planned, so first we have to establish the goal and then decide the objectives. Means you have to formulate the objectives according to the goal and then determine the course of action. Means what are the steps you want to follow in your program. So that you have to plan and assess the available resources. So what are the resources to whom you want to give the program? So what are the resource persons? So we have to assess the available resource persons and establish the budget. So according to your plan, so how much of blood, whether it is feasible or not, you have to think about that. Budget planning is very important to conduct that program and evaluate the result. So end of that program, you have to give the evaluation. You have to do the evaluation, how far it is succeeded, any gaps is there in that. So like that you have to evaluate and reset or reassessing the goal. So if there is a gap much, so again you have to reset the goal. So this is about the steps of planning. Then steps in planning process, assess needs. The need to realize the importance of early recognition of changes in nursing services, technology, public demands and patient occupancy. Set the goals and define the specific objectives. The primary goal of the in-service education program is imparting information to change the way of a person in performances, think or feels. Select the resource persons. When selecting the individuals as resource person, the attributes should be kept in your mind. The ability to serve as models for the learners, knowledge about concepts of adult learning, ex- expertise, experience and clinical competence in the area to be covered and should know how to communicate knowledge and willing to assist in the evaluation process. And resources, assessing the available resources for establishing the program, budget, establishing a workable budget appropriate for the program and evaluating, assessing the results at stated intervals, that is soon after the program or within 1 week. Reassessing, checking the goals and updating the plan periodically. The methods of delivering the in-service program. So what are the methods we will use to delivering the in-service program or in-service education? Is a forum one and another one is the what teaching, discussion method, laboratory, conferences, seminars, workshops and field trips. I think you know very well about these topics. Evaluation of in-service program. So we can evaluate this in-service program by knowledge, attitude, practice, pre-test and post-test and written test, objectives, assay and checklist, rating scale and practical test. Thank you. So up to now I have explained about the in-service education. So what are the definition of in-service education? Means in-service education is nothing but, so already they are in a service in the service. So whoever then want the extra knowledge to fulfill the goal or to implement those services. So whatever the new trends have came, so those are all has to be included in the in-service according to the need of the patients, according to the need for the nurses. So we can conduct these in-service programs to make it to improve their knowledge, to put it into practice in clinical area or in administrative side, in educational side, wherever is necessary. So thank you, ma'am. Okay, good luck.